Today on my channel, we are going to be creating this head table centerpiece that is full of bling and shine and reflection. Because of the color scheme that I use today, I have decided to name this piece Champagne and Watermelons. Stay tuned to see how it was created. For this project, you will need 6 5x7 frames, 2 packs of these dome lights, 6 of these floral foam. You will need any assortment of flowers, colors you choose. You will also need this chicken wire. I got this from the Hobby Lobby, as well as some gold bling wrap. The Dollar Tree sells them, but I got mine from the Hobby Lobby. Of course, you will need your handy dandy tools. Today, I'll be using my staple gun. Let's get crafting. So the first thing that we're going to do is prepare our frames. We're going to get rid of the backing, any cardboard or any pictures that they may have in there. And what I'm going to do is we are going to keep this faux frame that I found these frames, or that these frames came with, and this is going to help to elevate our box a little bit. So I'm going to take out that faux frame, set it on a side. I'm going to take out my mirror and set that on a side also, my glass rather. Then what I'm going to do is I am going to put down some E6000 glue around the frame or the edge of that frame, and then I'm going to double up with my hot glue gun so that while we are working, that E6000 glue is going to be curing, but we can continue to work. So just repeating this process with my hot glue, and once I have done that, I am going to return that mirror to its resting place, waiting on that glue to dry. Now remember, we do not want to use a lot because we do not want a lot of seepage coming through. And so when we put that mirror in, we just press it down to secure it. And then we are going to do the same thing for that little piece of cardboard. E6000 glue, and then going in with our hot glue gun. Remember, not too much because we do not want any seepage. The more glue you use, the more seepage you have, and of course the more cleanup you'll have to contend with at the end of the project. And so just going in with my hot glue gun now, and then once I have placed all of that glue down, I'm just going to take that piece of cardboard paper, making sure I'm gluing it down on the right side, and I'm going to put that right back in the frame. Once I have placed it in the frame, I'm going to press it down to make sure that it is smooth, that that piece of cardboard is not warping in any way. I'm going to use my fingers, and then you'll see me go in with a popsicle stick, just trying to make sure that is smooth out all the way and there are no bumps or no lumps in our frame. So now that we have prepared all 6 of our frames, I'm going to show you how to create one side and one end piece of our box. And so for this part, we need 3 frames. And so what we're going to do is very simple. Just go in with our E6000 glue alongside the frame, or the part of the frame that we're going to be sticking to the other part. Now, I can tell you that I made an error in judgment with how much glue I actually needed for this part, and so I am putting down entirely too much glue. Y'all learn from my mistakes and don't do this, because what happened, and you will see, when I put those 2 frames together, I got so much seepage, it was ridiculous. And so just go in with your E6000 glue, not as much as I have put down here, and then on top of that E6000 glue, again, you're going to be going in with your hot glue gun, and again, no, not as much as I'm using here. And then we are going to glue these 2 frames together, pressing them together to ensure a tight fit. Now, ideally, what you would do, as you would see here, I'm squeezing it so it buckles. Lay them flat on your desk or your counter, wherever it is you're working, your craft table, and squeeze them together. And as you can see, that seepage, I'm gonna have a lot of cleaning up to do, guys, so just beware. I'm gonna set this to dry, and then I'm gonna come back to show you how to add that end piece. All right, so the two frames that we stuck together have dried, and now we're coming in to glue our end piece on. Now, two things. If you notice the very thin piece that we have on that end piece where we're going to be gluing, so the glue that I'm putting on is just a smidge on the tip of that side piece that I'm putting down, E6000 glue, hot glue gun. And then the second thing you notice is that I'm gluing this end piece standing up, and you will see why I have decided to do it that way. And once I have put my glue down, if you notice, I'm not using as much glue as I did the first time. I'm just going to place those two frames together, squeeze, hold it together, and then I'm gonna let them rest maybe for about an hour, half an hour to an hour, and then come back so we can continue working. All right, so now we have our box. And as you can see, there's a lot of cleaning up Danielle is gonna have to do because she was just glue happy today. And so you can see that I've already begun to work on the other side of that box, the other side of the box plus the inside of the box. And so what we're going to do, so that I would say that we're covering, but we're not covering, we're just finishing our work, is we are going to lay down this beautiful gold bling wrap to cover all of that frame. So of course I have already pre-measured, because I've worked on the other side, so I know exactly what I need. So getting your bling wrap ready is not difficult, but just going in now with some hot glue and that E6000, and making sure, what you see I'm doing, I'm just putting the hot glue just at the top and at the bottom of where that ribbon will lie, because that way I know it's not going to move while the middle, that E6000 glue is curing. And so I'm just going to continue this process with my pre-measured bling wrap until the entire box is covered, what is facing the outside, also what is on the inside. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how I have placed my lights in that foam. And I think I've done this one other time, but I will go over it again for those of you who are just watching us today for the first time. What I'm doing is I'm just placing that light on top of my foam, pressing down and turning so that I can make an impression of where I want that light to be. And then I'm taking my blade and just going around that impression, making sure to go as deep as that blade will take me. And once I have etched that circle out, maybe about 2-3 times, I am going to score the middle of that cutout out, almost like I'm cutting slices of pizza. And then once I've done that, you can see how easy it is for those pieces to come up. And I'm just going to take those pieces up, making sure not to cut myself, of course, and please you do the same, and just taking those pieces up until I have a hole that I think is not only wide enough but deep enough for that dome light to sit in securely. And then I'm going to take my light and I'm going to push it in, because that foam is very pliable, and just push it in until I'm comfortable with where it sits. And so here you see our completed box. And now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be laying our foam all the way across that box. But before I explain to y'all how I did that, let me tell y'all a joke. This was where I had initially planned on using my chicken wire that I spoke about in my introduction, as well as my brand new spanking staple gun, because I had this convoluted idea about how I needed those foam to lay. And it was just as I was getting ready to take my tools out and get ready to work that my daughter said, "Mommy, you don't have to do all of that. All you have to do is such and such," which is what you're seeing me doing here. And so even though I was happy that she saved me some time and she saved me some figuring out of how to get this done, even though I had a general idea of how I was going to do it, she kind of took away the novelty of using my brand new staple gun. So I was kind of disappointed about that. But my daughter, she was right. And of course, this is much easier. And so what we're doing is simple. We're just taking our foam, our flower foam, and laying them down one at a time. I am alternating those foams, one that doesn't have a light, then another one with a light, doesn't have a light, another one with a light. And now that I think about it, if I were to do this again for a client, I would, instead of using 3 lights, I would actually put 2 of those dome lights to a flower foam for a total of 12 lights. And so that is just something that I would have done differently. And so I'm just going to continue this process until all 6 of those foams have been laid, and then I will come back so that I can do my favorite part of this project. Any project that I'm working with flowers is laying and arranging my flowers. Now that I have done that, I am going to go in with all of the flowers that we have. And as you can see here, I'm working with a combination of dark pink, yellow, and light pink. And this is where I got the idea for the title of the box, Champagne and Watermelons. That champagne color or I should say the gold color rather, of the champagne, and the bubbles being represented by our bling wrap. And then the watermelon, the colors from the watermelon, you have your pinks, your reds, and yellow if you get a watermelon that's a little bit overripe. And so all I'm gonna do here is just go around the perimeter of my foam, placing my flowers so that I can know what pattern it is I'm going to use. And then I'm going to continue filling in the empty spaces until I am happy that all of the flowers are accounted for and that there are no empty green spaces. Alright, and here is our completed project, and I see where I need to put some more flowers in there. But what I wanted to show you is this. I spoke about, well, actually I didn't. It was in the reel for the supplies, but I did not mention these. But I wanted to show these to you because as soon as I saw them, and you'll never guess where I found them. Well, maybe you might because you see that they're hairpins. But my daughter and I went to a hair supply store and I saw these. I had never seen anything like these before. And as soon as I saw these hairpins, I knew exactly where I would be using using them, and it is in this project today. And so all I'm doing is just going around placing some in the middle. I'm going to place some around the perimeter. Notice I'm not gluing these down because these, of course, I'll be able to pull them out and use in other projects as the need arises. But you never know, crafters, when we will find things that we can use in our projects. I should say where. Well, here you have it, ladies and gentlemen, our champagne and watermelon centerpiece display box that can be used for your head table of a wedding or a sweet 16 or retirement party. I mean, the possibilities are endless. And as I look at this project, I am very happy about it. Now, I will admit that laying all of that bling wrap was time consuming, but I do believe that the effort was worth it. Not only do you have a display box that can be used to display absolutely anything that you want, but this display box, as you can see, is also lighted. And I have used mirrors to place this display box on, and so what that mirror is going to do is reflect the light and give you even more bang for your money. If you have enjoyed this project, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Additionally, if you are not subscribed to this channel and you found your way here today by chance, please be sure to click that subscribe button as well as a notification button so that you will never miss another video again. To my Danny's darlings, those of you who are already subscribed, I thank you for your time. I thank you for your comments, your questions, your encouragement. Listen, let's continue to build our little community. I am enjoying working with you guys. I am enjoying all of the suggestions and the ideas that you give me. If there is anything that you would like to see me do or recreate, please be sure to drop me a question or a comment in the comment section below. And listen, I just want to say until next time, please be well. In the meantime, between time, when we see again, please take care. And I want you guys to know that I love you all. This is Danielle. God bless. Take care now.